Welcome to Money, Manifestation, and Business, the podcast that shows you how to use your energy, intention, and consciousness to reprogram your money mindset, unleash a new level of possibility, and create a life and business that lights you up. I'm your host, Jamie Berman, and I invite you to join me each week for a dose of inspiration, coaching, and teachings to help you rewrite your money story, create abundance on your terms, and grow your business in a way that's fully aligned for you. This is going to be so much fun. Let's dive in. I'm going to consider this a part 2 of manifestation. Because I will tell you what, this is one of the foundations of manifesting that I didn't bring into episode 3, our manifestation episode, but I realized there's so much I want to talk about. I couldn't possibly pack all of it into one episode. So this is going to be a solo episode on one of the main foundations of manifestation. This is what I would consider like if your manifestation practice is like a tree, like a beautiful tree. These are the roots. This is what keeps that tree grounded and solid and alive and nourished and allows the water to come up and nourish it, right? So this is the root of manifestation. And it's all about your connection to source or source energy. Now, this may be different for everyone, and that's okay. What I mean by connection to source is for some of you, that's going to be your connection to God, right? Your relationship with God and you connecting with God on a daily basis. For others, you're going to think of it as your connection to infinite intelligence, into source energy, into angels or ancestors or guides, right? And then so for some of you, you might think of it as just like your connection to nature, your connection to presence, you being in the present moment, the experience of presence, of oneness. It's that part of us that, like as humans, that we are able to connect to something that is greater than our ego, right? That's just greater than this body. It's that knowing that there's something bigger than us, right? So it's that connection to a higher power. You can think of it like that. And again, it's going to be different. What that is different for everyone, and it's okay. It might just be the feeling of connectedness, a feeling of presence and stillness. When we can connect to that consistently, it gives us solid roots and it gives our manifestation practice solid roots. In fact, it's hard to manifest without that. And I'll tell you why. Because without that, we are not very connected to our intuition. We are not very connected to our spirit, to our soul, to our heart, right? And what we can tend to do when we are not getting connected each day and making that a priority in our lives is that we start to manifest from our ego. And what that looks like is, I want all of these things. I want these material goods or this house or this car or this size business. But the why behind it, the energy behind the desire doesn't feel soulful. It doesn't feel connected. It feels like we just want these things for status or for how others will perceive us or for how we'll perceive ourselves. We're like, once I get this thing, then I'll feel worthy. Once I get this thing, then I can call myself successful. Then I can feel like I've achieved something. I have something to prove to myself and to others. Right? We probably have all been in that energy before. And you absolutely can manifest from this place. You totally can. You can manifest all of the things. But the problem with it is you're probably not getting what you actually want. Because the only reason we really want anything is because of how we think it's going to make us feel. And when we're manifesting from that egoic place where we don't have that connection with ourselves, what will tend to happen is we'll get there, but it's just not enough. Then we need the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It just never feels enough. It's this endless desire to achieve and achieve and achieve, but it's not coming from this open, expansive place. It's coming more from a closed place, this feeling of it's not enough now, I'm not enough now, right? And the problem with that is if we think we're not enough now, we're not going to think we're enough then. I will say this a million times. No circumstances, no material goods, no manifestations can change the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we feel about ourselves, the way that we think about our life, and the way we feel about our life and our perceptions. Things aren't going to change that. So if we're always going for things and trying to manifest, thinking that it's going to be so much better there than here, it's like dangling that carrot in front of us, right? And the carrot just keeps dangling and keeps dangling. It just keeps moving, right? So we never actually feel fulfilled, abundant, alive. We never actually feel the way that we want to feel, which is like satisfied, which is grateful, which is present, right? We think those things will give it that to us, and it doesn't. But when we are willing to consistently connect with Source each day and try to really set the intention to infuse that Source energy, that presence into all that we do, into all that we're manifesting, we will end up feeling fulfilled, satisfied, alive, abundant, right? Because that is when we can actually create safety for ourselves, is when we are connected to Source. We're not looking for outside things to feel safe or worthy, right? So it is our connection to Source that is going to help us feel the way that we actually want to feel, and to know who we really are, and to start recognizing ourselves as the powerful creators that we are. It's that connection to the divine, to infinite intelligence. I also find that when I am consistently connecting to Source, I get much more creative. I get so many more hunches, so many more ideas. I feel like the guidance comes to me, and it's almost like I don't have to try so hard. I don't have to try to like actively manifest and grasp things. Things tend to fall into alignment. Blessings come into my life. And of course, whenever I'm in the energy of appreciation and recognizing all of the blessings, recognizing all of the amazing things coming into my life, it's just amplified. So that is my recommendation. If you are someone who already has a deep connection to, I'm going to call it Source or God or nature, whatever it is for you, there's an opportunity to deepen in that. And you'll know what that means for you. You can ask yourself the question, how could I deepen in my connection? Hey, I have to pause the episode really quick just to tell you about something very exciting that's coming up. It is the event of the season. So I have my free money manifestation challenge coming up on October 9th through 13th, and it is a completely free event where we're going to take some of the concepts you're learning on this podcast and actually implement them in your life and business so that you can get results. And you can really learn how to use your energy, your intention, and your consciousness to create results in your business in a way that is fully aligned for you. So make sure to go down to the show notes and sign up for this free event. We're going to do a live call every single day where I'm going to be teaching you something and then opening the floor for questions and coaching. And it's going to be a party. At the end of the event, we're going to do prize giveaways. There's going to be a free community. Think of it as an entire program that I'm giving away for completely free. So be sure to go to the show notes and sign up for it and come hang out with me. I'll see you there. And if you do not have a connection to source and you're like, I don't even know exactly how that feels, you could set the intention that you want to feel more connected. And you can decide what that means for you. For a lot of people, that's just meditating every day. You don't necessarily have to have some figure that's outside of you to feel connected. You can get connected to your body. Something that I have my students and my clients practice is unhooking from their mind. Just practice. Like when you're in a meditation, imagine unhooking from your mind and open your awareness and feel everything around you. Open your awareness, open it up, open it around you, open it behind you. Feel everything around you and recognize that you're so much more than just this human body. You're connected to everything. Your energy is connected. And you have access to infinite intelligence. And when you know that, you know nothing is impossible. And when you can rely on that belief, right, that you are connected to the all-knowing, you know that anything is possible, right? You don't have to doubt. You can start leaning into trust and start trusting the universe. And I know for me, when I am more connected, I just feel safer. I just feel more present. I feel more alive. I'm not trying to reach and get all the things. Things are just attracting to me. They're all coming into alignment. Ideas, things just, for me, it tends to organize itself in the most beautiful way when I am connected to God. And for me, that's always an intention, is to deepen in my connection to spirit. And I think about the things that help me feel more connected. And for me, it's different for everyone, but some of you may have the same things. But for me, a morning practice matters because my morning practice is all about connecting to the divine, connecting to that all-knowing infinite intelligence, going beyond me. So I do meditation, and that really helps. Stillness and presence is what allows me to get connected. Journaling really helps because it connects me with my soul and my spirit and my intuition and helps me kind of declutter what isn't me and get out all the thoughts and the stuff that's going on in my mind. If I just journal it out, I feel like I'm decluttering and then getting more connected to source. I also really love going on retreat, and it is always my intention to do at least one retreat a year, because a retreat is the reason for me it's so much easier to get connected to source during retreat is because during that time, the intention really is to get rid of all distractions. So I don't have my phone, I don't have my work, I don't have, my family life and everything that's around me. I'm in a space where literally the only thing I'm doing is focusing on me, focusing on presence, and focusing on my connection to divine, right? And many times I'm learning from spiritual teachers of mine where they're talking and sharing things that help me feel even more connected. And when I go on retreat, it's so amazing because I get myself into this aligned energy, and then I can bring it home and practice infusing that into everything. Practice infusing it into my business, into my relationships, into my life in general. And that's the real retreat, right? I've heard Jack Kornfield say this, who I really love. And he said, the real retreat is when you get home. It's a lot easier to feel connected when you are distraction free. But then you get to come home and make it a practice to infuse that oneness, that connection into all that you do, right? So that's why I like going on retreat once a year so that I can remind myself who I really am, get myself into that energy, into alignment, and then come back and infuse it into the rest of my life and really have that as a practice. The practice is infusing it, making it very, very holistic. It's not like you just meditate in the morning and then you go and, yell at everyone around you and act a certain, right? Like, I mean, of course, we're all humans, we're going to do things, but the intention is to meditate and then bring that energy in your day. And of course, none of us are perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but I think having it as an intention is so, so helpful. I know for me it is. So if you want to manifest, the roots of manifestation are your connection to source. So how can you deepen in that? How can you slow down? I know it's so easy to think my life is so busy, there's so much going on, and to put that on the back burner. But I promise you, if you make that a priority, you will find that you have more time throughout the day. Don't know how it works, but it does. Just watch. When you make that space for your connection, you will find that everything else is a little easier, happens a little more synchronistically, and that you just have more space and more presence throughout the day. And I find that manifestation happens a lot more easily, where I don't have to try and force it. Things just come into alignment. Talk about attraction. It is one of the most powerful attraction energies. So I wanted to bring that forward and talk about that as one of the foundations, because I just don't think you're going to get what you actually want out of manifesting without having that. So for you, I would encourage you to deepen in your connection with source, find out what that is for you, figure out what it is that helps you feel more connected, and do more of that. Make it more of a priority and see how many blessings start coming into your life. See how many synchronicities, see how much easier it is to manifest. It's amazing. All right, I'll see you next week for the next episode. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this episode is something that you'll be able to add to your manifestation toolbox to come back to when you need a little extra motivation. If you like what you've heard today and want to take it deeper, you've got to come check out my signature coaching program, the Money Manifestation Movement. It's the place where you'll not only learn manifestation, but you'll begin to live it alongside me and an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing this work together. Head on over to jamieberman.com to learn more.